Okay, for this drawing, if you take a look at the drawing, a couple things should stand out at you. First off, this is dual dimensioning. The primary unit is millimeters, the secondary unit is in English decimal. This FAO stands for finish all over. These right here are called revision flags. That refers to the revision block up here. Alright, let's go ahead and start modeling this part. Now, again, this is the front view, left side view, so we are going to start extruding this from the right side view. Alright, a couple things. Again, file, new, and your starting part. Make sure, again, this is in millimeters. The options here, the system launch, dock props, and this has to be ANSI. Okay, so we're going to start from the right plane. We're going to start sketch, and it's going to be a circle. And we'll give that diameter of right here of 32 millimeters. So we're going to go extrude that, and then we're going to reverse that direction because my part's sitting in an orientation, and the thickness of that is 3 millimeters. Alright, now we're going to start a sketch on that surface. Again, make sure it's coincident with the origin or coincident with and concentric. Again, you always have to apply those diameters. This is a pretty tight tolerance here, so I'm going to just have you go at 20 millimeters, and we're going to apply that later. It's 20, and that is extruded from that face to this one. So it's basically 55 minus the 3, so that would be 52 millimeters. Alright, the next one we're going to put in there, that little relief, this relief right here, this feature. And alright, so we're going to grab a plane, any one of these planes, this top plane that's perpendicular to the cylinder. We're going to do a sketch, I'm going to do a circle, and let that intersect with that, so that it automatically adds that relation. That relation is finding the edge of the cylinder. And that dimension, alright, is 2, I believe, because the radius is 1. So the radius is 1, so it's 2 millimeters. And we're going to add the dimension from here to here. Alright, that will be the 3 plus the radius. Alright, so that'll be 4 millimeters. Alright, we want to view it's a temporary axis here, so I turned on the temporary axis. Our feature is revolve cut. Axis of revolution is that. And there's that cut. Alright. We have another feature right here, which is starting at 43 millimeters, and that is another relief for the thread here. So again, same procedure as before. We're going to start a sketch on that plane. This time, that one's going to be 1 millimeter. I'm going to dimension to the back of this part. So you have to do 43 plus the radius, so it'd be 43.5. Alright, again, same, revolve cut. That's my axis. And I right click, and there, that feature's in there. Okay, now I'm going to use my spacebar and identify my views. Okay, so there are my views of my part. If you want to turn the cube on, here's the, where is the cube? Right here. So there's the cube, so I'm going to select this view. Again, you don't have to do that. So, alright, the next thing is we're going to do from this point forward, we're going to do this hex. This hex right here. Notice that the hex is at, when you select that part and get normal to that view, that the flat is right here. That hex is 15 millimeters on the flat. Alright, so I'm going to select this surface and go normal 2. And I'm going to do a sketch, and hex. Alright, and I'm going to, again, use my control key and say, or I'm just going to say that one's vertical. And I'm going to dimension this. 15. Alright, again, right there's that 15. Now that thing is extruded from 55 to 64. Alright, so that's 9 millimeters. Alright, so far so good. We'll check my view. Alright, so going back to the part, now I've got this feature I've got to put in there. This guy right here, this key slot. Alright, which is this right here. There's all kinds of different ways you can do that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I will put this in the asymmetric view. Alright, so it's going to go basically right on this plane right here, because if you look at the part, that's kind of where that is. Alright, so I'm going to highlight the front plane. I'm going to use my control key and make a reference plane to that one. Let's say that's 10 millimeters. Alright, there's plane 1. I'm going to do a sketch on that plane. I'm going to start with a circle. I'm going to let that track to my origin, and then I'm going to add a relation between this and the axes, and I'm going to say that's coincident, so that guy will automatically stay along that axis. It's giving us a dimension right here of 42.25 to the center of that, and this guy is 4 millimeters wide. So the diameter of this would be 4 millimeters. There's 4. And then I'm going to dimension that from the end. And again, that is the 42.25. So 42.25. Alright. So far that looks good. Then I'm going to add lines. Alright. I'm going to add a dimension from there to that point. So I fully define that, so it's 14.5. Now, the reason why that is I just let that hang off over that surface. Alright, then I will trim using my power trim. Trim out. that geometry. Okay, then we got to figure out what the depth of this is. So if I zoom in on this view, we notice that this diameter right here, or the dimension goes from this surface to the bottom of that pocket, which is 18.5. But then the diameter of this one is 20. So that's 1.5 millimeters deep. That diameter of that was over here. There's that 20. So features, extrude cut, 5. All right. The last feature we need to put in there is the thread. Is this right here? All right. So let's pull. Okay. Again, you go up to insert features, thread. First off, this is a metric. And per our print, I know the print says right here, it's 20, and the major is 1.0. It's a major, so it's an M20 thread with a 1.0 pitch. But under SOLIDWORKS profiles, under the metric die, the M20 is a 1.5. So just leave it 1.5. That's fine. Alright, thread location will start here. Alright, up to selection. Let's go there. Oops. Alright, thread location start. Up to there. Alright, we're going to offset this just like the other one. Offset so it starts outside of our part. Let's go a little bit more than a millimeter. That's too much. Let's go 2 millimeters. That looks fine. Well, let's back it off here a little bit. Reverse that. And that looks good. Okay, so accept that. Alright. Okay, pretty much that is the model of the part. That looks like it's pretty much finished out.